Hey, hello, and welcome to another fluffy video. Fluffy because I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to try and be accurate. I thought we'd talk a little bit about EDM. I have a friend who was asking about EDM. It stands for Enemies Destroyed Might, and it is one of your stats. Before we start talking stats, do you remember that stats can be manipulated? Even kills. If I want to take my kills right now to 100,000, it's actually 100 million, sorry. It's quite easy. I get one of my alts, put out a couple of camps and smack them, and I can easily over time get the kills that I'm looking for. And it's not really fair. It's manipulating your stats. A lot of stats can be manipulated, and you can do it to look pretty or whatever, but people do it. I don't, but some people do. So just be aware that stats can be manipulated. All right, let's talk about EDM. It is a stat that a lot of people use in order to determine what work reminder, darn it. I'll get there now. They look at it to determine your playing style. So if we just want to have a little look here, the graph up at the top, not everything in this graph can be seen by someone seeing your castle from the outside, but this top part they certainly can see. And what they look at here is, things like, do you usually win? Do you usually successfully defend? Do you usually fail? And yeah, this is it's a very old account. Like I said, I don't manipulate my stats. If I want to have more successful defenses, I just get people to one troop me, hit me with one troop, and every one of those hits is a successful defense. If I want more kills, I can kill my own troops. If I want to manipulate my EDM, I can also do that, and some people do that to their advantage. I'll give an example of that now. EDM, third from the bottom there, I've got 8 billion in troops might destroyed. So what does that tell people about me? Well, they can look at my number of kills and my EDM, and they can determine on average what kind of troops I'm killing. And this does tell them something, possibly, about my playing style. So if you go to your barracks over here, and we'll just look at grants, you can go to details, and you will see that these guys have got a might of 2. So for every one troop of these that I kill, I get 2 might onto my EDM, and this is the lowest type of troops. Now, oftentimes you'll get somebody moving into the kingdom, a lot of kills, people will look at their EDM and say, oh, that's a tile hitter. And the way that they can tell that is by comparing the kills to the might destroyed. Just to give you a quick rundown, hopefully I get most of this in. If you're mainly doing wonder battles, you are going to have a high EDM because you're using tier 4 and tier 5 at wonders, and that's what you're going to be killing if there's a fight over the wonder, and that's going to boost your EDM. If you are attacking other castles, you're going to have to get through their tier 1 and tier 2 before you get to their higher tier troops. A castle with a decent comp will have many tier 2 and then some tier 4. So you're going to kill with tier 2 before you kill the tier 4, and that's going to bring your EDM down. A lot of people think, oh, you're not aggressive if you've got a low EDM, and you could be. Right, if you are, let's see what other options are there. Oh, if you're a trap, you're probably going to have a higher EDM because you're sitting there taking either solo attacks or rallies. People are probably going to be sending in higher tier troops with a small cushion of their lower tier troops. Nowadays people are going tier 5 cushion, tier 4 players usually go tier 4 cushion of about 10%, tier 2 to absorb some of the deaths so they don't lose too many of their higher tier troops. But at the same time, the majority of that attack is higher tier troops, and you're going to get the might destroyed, which obviously is going to be a lot higher than 2, which is your tier 1 troops. That goes up exponentially as your troops levels that you kill go up. So number of kills divided by will give you an idea of what the might of the troops that you're killing are, basically. So number of kills are EDM divided by number of kills. I think that's the formula. Yeah, that would give you an average, and then from that average you can determine which of which type of troops this person kills more of. One of the ways this can be manipulated, which is actually quite fun, and I saw it done once, I thought it was hilarious, but it was really irritating. This guy comes into the kingdom and he tile hits, and he tile hits, and he tile hits, and he's got a massive amount of kills, but if you look at his EDM, he's a tile hitter, that's what he is. And everybody got totally annoyed with him and rallied him. And of course, turns out he's a fantastic rally trap, took 8 rallies before deciding, okay, now I'll shield 8 rallies. So, you know, and then he just carried on hitting tiles to bring down his EDM, because, you know, all those rallies he took was actually boosting his EDM. So there are ways to manipulate that. But what players will do is they'll look at your EDM and from that determine what type of troops you've been killing. From the type of troops you've been killing, they may determine your playing style. So I previously had an account that was a Kill a Baby, and it used to be a baby to kill babies, and most of its kills are tier 1 to 3, and that reflects in its EDM. So people who initially look at it go, wow, there's a lot of leaders capped on this account, there's quite a lot of kills on this account if you look at the kills to might ratio. But if they then look further and go down to EDM, they're going to see that it's mostly low-tier troops. Their first assumption will probably be that it's a tile hitter, although it wasn't. It was actually just a little brown castle killing other brown castles, and a little purple castle killing other little purple castles. It outgrew that phase, and its EDM will gradually correct over time as it engages in different types of action. So EDM is not an absolute. You know, somebody wants to mock you about your EDM or your kills or whatever, just ask them if they're an accountant. Because, you know, every stat can be manipulated just about. I can think of ways to do it. We won't go into that here. But that's EDM. That's what people look at. They look at your might destroyed. They look at your kills. They divide one with the other, and they get an average of the might of the troops that you're killing. And from that, they can take a guess, or at least a reasonably informed guess, on your playing style. But this can be manipulated. So that's it. EDM, enemies destroyed might. Most people go, more is better. I'm easy. But yeah, that is what it gets down to.